welcome to Season 2 of the F1 2016 Banter Racing League. Here we are for the first round in Melbourne, Australia at Albert Park Circuit. We are on board with CombinedYoutuber as he heads down in the Ferrari as he heads down to the final corner, where he oversteers, but he grabbed pole position in his home Grand Prix for Ferrari. With a time of 125.753, he grabbed pole position for this opening race of F1 2016 BRL. We have 8 drivers on the grid for this Australian Grand Prix, and as I said, combined in his home race will start from pole, and Lucky Racer, his teammate, has decided not to qualify to make it fair for him and everyone else. So as we get underway with the formation lap, I will take you through the grid for this Australian Grand Prix. Combined is on pole for Ferrari by 0.2 of a second from Ventrox in second place for Manor, then Kryptox in third for Williams, and Addy in fourth for McLaren, then Wattmaster in fifth for Manor, then Lucky Racer in sixth, then the Boom in seventh for McLaren. And there is a guest driver, Addy Weepo, who is driving the Mercedes car, and he's in eighth. As we head to the end of the formation lap, as we come into lining up on the grid, he was combined on pole position. Ventrox had a really good qualifying because last season he was fighting with the likes of the Boom and Savage, but now he's just up there with the front runners in this qualifying session somehow. Here we go, lining up on the grid at the start of the Australian Grand Prix. Here we are with the Wattmaster. Kryptox in third there, Addy, then there's Lucky Racer, the Boom, and Addy Weepo at the back there. And here we go for starting the Australian Grand Prix. The lights come on for the first race of the season of F1 2016 BRL. And it's away we go for the Australian Grand Prix, and that's a great start from the Williams of Kryptox as he heads down towards turn 1. He pulls alongside the pole position man, CombinedYoutuber, and he goes around the outside and takes the lead of the Australian Grand Prix. Kryptox has taken the lead, and Combined is down to second. Addy up to third, and Ventrox has dropped all the way down to the back. I think he's been hit by someone. As Kryptox leads after the first sector from Combined, then it's Addy, then it's Wattmaster, then it's Addy Weepo. Then it's the Boom, Lucky Racer, then it's the Boom, then it's Ventrox. So here is Wattmaster now behind Addy. He slipstreams him as he comes down towards turn 9. Is he going to make this move stick? Oh, there's a little bit of lag there, but now Wattmaster goes up the inside of Addy as he heads down into this corner. Addy goes a little bit wide, and Wattmaster gets position into the podium places. Now he's into third place. And now Addy Weepo is going through him because Wattmaster has actually got a laggy game, as you can see. He's got a laggy game. I don't know why he has that, but it's interesting. As now at the end of lap 1, Kryptox is leading the race for Williams ahead of CombinedYoutuber in the Ferrari. Addy Weepo in third for Mercedes. Ahead of Wattmaster, then it's Addy in fifth. Then we have Lucky Racer, then Thaboon, then Ventrox. As now Combined has a slipstream on Kryptox as he heads down towards turn 3. Is he going to go up the inside of him? Yes, he is. He's going to dive up the inside, but he overshoots the corner, and Kryptox gets back to position into the lead. These two are going to have a nice fight for the lead, I hope. The Ferrari and the Williams, from 30 years ago around good rivalries. Ferrari and Williams. So now here is a replay of Wattmaster at the end of lap 1. Here is Lucky Racer going alongside him, coming down towards turn 1. And now Lucky Racer actually got the move there, and he moved up into 4th place. And Addy now goes past Wattmaster as well, and Addy tried to challenge Lucky Racer on the outside into turn 3. And now into turn 3, Addy runs a bit wide, but almost makes contact with Wattmaster, but doesn't quite. And that is the position. But Addy actually oversteers into the wall there. Did he get damage? And Wattmaster also oversteers onto the grass. Also very lucky not to hit the wall. He was very lucky there, was Wattmaster. But did Addy get damaged there? That's a big question. Now back on board with Combined as the battle for the lead is still on between Kryptox and the Ferrari driver. Coming now into this corner and into turn 1. And I think Combined is too far back to make the move into turn 3. Yes, for sure he's way too far back. But every corner he's getting closer to the Williams. Can he attempt to move on the next lap? I think he will do that. He's getting very close down towards turn 6, turn 7. And he's very close now. He's not going to go for a dive into the second sector, is he? He's currently purple in the second sector. Was that first sector split? No, first sector split. That was by 0.644 seconds. So he's 0.6 up in the first sector on Kryptox's time. And now he slipstreams him down towards the fast chicane. And now at the end of lap 3 of the Australian Grand Prix, Combined slipstreams Kryptox once again. The battle for the lead is heating up at the front. Battle is heating up at the front as the battle for first is a tense one. As now Combined slipstreams Kryptox as he heads down towards turn 3. He's going to go up the inside of him, coming down towards turn 3. Is he going to get this move done? Yes, he is, but Kryptox switches back and tries to go around the outside and keeps the lead of the race and moves back up into first. This is a great battle between the Ferrari and the Williams. Is this going to continue on? He gets very close to Kryptox heading into turn 7 there. Combined is getting frustrated now. He's being held up by the Williams. But now here are the replays of the start. On board with Combined off the start. He got a fairly average start. And really, look at Kryptox speeding off the line there. As now coming into turn 1. And that's what happened to Ventrox. That's what happened at the start. He got spun by the Ferrari of Combined. So, will that be penalty worthy? We'll see about that. But to be honest, Combined was giving space to Kryptox on the outside, so he had nowhere else to go. If Kryptox was not on the outside, then Ventrox would not have been spun. Here is Ventrox's point of view. Yeah, as you can see, Combined is moving over to the inside to give Kryptox on the outside some space, and that's left him with nowhere to go but to cut off Ventrox and spin him off. So, unfortunate for the German in the manner. On board with Kryptox off the start. Let's see this awesome start he made. Yes, look at that. Just straight off the line, no wheel spin. And into turn 1 in the lead, around the outside of Combined. So that's a nice move from Kryptox. And it was a nice start from him as well. Here is the start from Wattmaster's perspective. You got a fairly decent start. As you can see the battle ahead between Combined, Kryptox and Ventrox. And yeah, there you can see Ventrox got spun by Combined. So, and Lucky Racer actually got half spun by Wattmaster, and Thaboom also got hit into the wall. He also crashed into the wall at the exit of turn 2. So Thaboom having a tough time there. As now onto lap 4, through the fast chicane we go. Combined is still right behind Kryptox, coming down towards turn 13. Is he going to challenge him into turn 13? Yes, he is. He's going to go up the inside, and he's taken the lead of the Australian Grand Prix. The Ferrari of Combined has got up into first in his home race. The fans are cheering for him as he heads through into the final corner to start lap 5. The battle is not over yet because DRS is available for Kryptox as he heads down towards turn 1. He's going to get the slipstream. Combined defends the inside. He's going to go to the outside. Coming down towards turn 1, Combined has the inside line and holds on to the lead. But now Kryptox has another DRS opportunity. Coming down towards turn 3, Combined has got he's oversteered a bit, and Kryptox goes to the outside once again. Coming into turn 3, and Combined has the inside line once again, and he holds on to the lead. So, this is a great battle between these two. On the first 5 laps of the race, they've been battling for the win. And Combined has got the move done on Kryptox, finally, into the lead of this race. A very nice move from the Australian, in Australia, of course, so it's his home race he's taking the lead of now. On board with Wattmaster, who's currently in second last, so I think he had a bit of front wing damage, so he had to pit, that's why he's down that far. And he's gone off the curb and he's into the wall! Wattmaster is out of the race on the curb there. He just slid off from the curb and he hit the wall. Let's see the replay. First retirement of the season is Wattmaster in the manor. Yep, he oversteered off the curb and went straight into the wall there. So not a good start for Mana in this BRL 2016 Season 2. Ventrox getting spun off at turn 1, and now Whatmaster actually crashing out of the race. So that's a real shame for him. On board now with Combined. After Whatmaster crashed out, he spectated the race, so it's a nice view for me to upload here, so thanks to him. As here is Combined now leading down towards turn 3. Kryptox is right behind him. You can see Addy Weepo in the Mercedes getting up there. So he's keeping up with the two leaders. He's quite a quick driver, this guy. Combined still leads as it comes down to turn 11. Kryptox is getting closer and closer into turn 11, but not quite making the overtake, or getting close enough to make an overtake into turn 13. As now coming down into turn 13, Combined still leads from Kryptox. Addy Weepo in third at the moment. And I believe Lucky Racer is fourth. Lucky Racer is fourth in the Ferrari. So the two Ferraris are first and fourth at the moment. As now this is lap 6 of the Australian Grand Prix. As Combined pits the first time in this race. As now Addy Weepo gets some great traction and pulls to the inside of Kryptox, coming down towards turn 1. And he has DRS available. He's going to get some move done. Yes, the Mercedes of Addy Weepo gets into the lead. He's only a guest driver. And he's just got into the lead of this race. Ahead of Kryptox. So can these two fight it out for the win? While Combined is just pitted. Let's just see the replay of Combined's pit stop. As he heads into the pits now. This is just a replay. Yes, Lucky Racer was in 4th. Ventrox in 5th. And Combined changed onto a set of soft tyres. It was a 2.6 second stop from the Ferrari crew. And pretty early pit stop, to be honest, from the Australian. And yeah, he comes out in P4. Just in front of, well, he goes out in front of Addy. And behind his teammate, Lucky Racer. So, onto lap 7 now. Addy Weepo has actually pulled away a bit from Kryptox. But now Kryptox is going to pit on this lap, so a lap later than what Combined did. Is Combined going for the undercut here. A lap earlier than what Kryptox pitted in. So, on board with Combined now in the Ferrari. Coming through into the penultimate corner. Let's see if he can get ahead of the Williams of Kryptox. I think he'll easily get ahead of him here. Here he goes onto the straight. And he does get ahead of Kryptox, does he? Yes, he does. He's moved up into 3rd. And there it is. Kryptox comes out of the pits and Combined is way ahead of the Williams. And now the Australian moves up into 3rd place. On board with the Ventrox on lap 7 of this race. He's way back from the rest of the field. And he has got Addy behind him in the McLaren. Is Addy going to challenge Ventrox as he comes through into the far chicane? Here we go into the chicane now. He's just lost a bit of time there. Addy gets some nice traction. Oh, and there's a bit of contact there, and Addy has just hit the wall, but somehow doesn't get out of the race like Whatmaster did. So that was an interesting bit of contact. Seemed like a bit of a racing incident, to be honest, because Ventrox kind of lost it out of the chicane, and Addy got some good traction. I did not expect him to be so slow, I think, so Addy just ran to the back of him, so don't think it was anyone's fault. Now, on board with the Ferrari of Lucky Racer, he is challenging, or he's trying to catch Addy Weepo in the Mercedes. Is he going to get the P1? That's a little bit of a corner cut, but that doesn't really matter. As now coming into turn 7, into 3rd gear. And now, Lucky Racer is actually getting closer to Addy Weepo. As Addy Weepo has an issue there. He's got an issue, and that brings Lucky Racer into the lead of the race. What's happened to Addy Weepo? He's got a front left puncture on the car. I think his tyre just blew up because of bad tyre wear, possibly. Maybe it was possibly because of bad tyre wear. Addy Weepo's tyre has just blown up. So unfortunate for him. That is a real shame for the Mercedes. He was doing really well in the lead. On possibly a one-off race, but he's Addy's friend, so you need to get some details from him. And there is Combined in the Ferrari to go past him, which makes it a Ferrari 1-2 now. Lucky Racer leading, but hasn't stopped yet, and Combined is 2nd. And there is Kryptox taking 3rd place away from from the unfortunate Eddie Wipo. In the Mercedes, he has a front left puncture because he stayed out too late, I think. I think he stayed out too late on the tyres he's on. I think Ventrox will also pass him. Possibly. So, unfortunate for him. Really, really unfortunate. Eddie Wipo, he's quite unlucky with that puncture. Because he was challenging with the leaders there. He was, he overtook Kryptox. And he was pulling away from him even. And Lucky Racer was barely catching him as well, so... And there he goes, Ventrox, past Eddie Wipo, so... Ventrox, who got spun out on a turn 1 on lap 1, has just got past him, so down to 5th. Eddie Wipo is down to 5th place. From leading the race, for goodness sake. Really unlucky for the Mercedes driver. As now here we are with Eddie coming down into this corner, and there's the boom in 7th. Both McLarens are all alone, the defending champions from Season 1, not really having the greatest race so far. Eddie's in 6th and the boom is in 7th. As now on board with Kryptox coming through into the chicane. It is indeed a Ferrari 1-2, Lucky Racer leads. But he hasn't stopped yet, of course. Combined has and Kryptox has, so... Here is Lucky Racer, as it goes, because, unfortunately, his game actually crashed on him, so... He is an AI. His AI is driving him, so his AI has actually pitted him. So as he comes into the pits now, what does he change on to? Super Softs. Is that Super Softs? Or is that Softs? Let's see. That's a set of soft tyres. That's okay. If it was on Super Softs, then that wouldn't have been a great strategy. And Combined goes past into the lead of the race. Kryptox also goes past. And he moves up into 2nd. So Lucky Racer's AI has come out in 3rd place. Ferrari having a good race so far. And there you go, confirmed. Lucky Racer has joined the session, so that means his game crashed on him. So there is Eddie Wipo in 5th. Is he trying? I think he's trying to catch Ventrox, but we'll see what happens at the end of the race. I don't think he'll catch him. He's what is that? 34 seconds behind the leader when he was actually leading at one point. On to lap 17, more than halfway through the race now. And Lucky Racer's AI is actually caught up to Kryptox here. Is he going to slipstream him coming down towards turn 3? He goes up the inside into turn 3. And just backs out of it. Actually backs out of the move there. So Kryptox holds on to 2nd place ahead of Lucky Racer's AI. Let's just hope he actually drives at some point. There's Ventrox in P4. All alone by himself. And Kryptox in 2nd. Currently 4 seconds. Or 3.5 behind Combined in the lead at the moment. Combined could be on for his first win in league racing at his home race. This could be very interesting. He's never won a league race before, has the Ferrari and the Aussie in the Ferrari. If this is his first one, it'll be a special one for his first win because it's his home race. It'll be a special one to win for him. As now here is Lucky Racer's AI challenging Kryptox again and actually takes 2nd place. Lucky Racer's AI has actually taken 2nd place away from Kryptox there, so wow, that was interesting. But Lucky Racer's AI actually pitted again, so Kryptox is back into P2. And that is Eddie behind him who just got lapped. So it's gone from bad to worse for McLaren. We saw Thaboom getting crashed on lap 1. I don't know by who. And we saw Eddie getting oversteer and crashing into the wall, and also colliding with Ventrox. But Combined and Kryptox have pitted at the same time. But Combined has actually stayed ahead of the Williams. This might put Lucky Racer into 2nd for Ferrari, and it indeed does. There goes Lucky Racer into turn 1, ahead of Kryptox there. So Kryptox still on the podium for Williams. Compared to 2017, I think Kryptox is a little bit quicker than what he is on 2017. You've seen 2017 highlights. Kryptox has been near the rear of the field, mostly, or midfield / rear of the field. But in this, he's actually at the front of the field, battling for the lead, battling for the podium. It's not bad for him in this game. There is Lucky Racer in second place at the moment, as nothing really happened for the next 10 laps, so we're on the last lap of this Australian Grand Prix, and it's going to be combined in the Ferrari, who's coming round into the last 2 corners of the lap. The Aussie fans are cheering for him as he comes into the final corner and onto the straight, and Combined has taken his first win ever in league racing. He wins in Australia, his home race. It's a great start to the season for Ferrari and a great start to the season for Combined. Kryptox crosses the line for second place, but Lucky Racer crosses the line for third, but that means Lucky Racer second because Kryptox has got penalties. So, a dramatic twist at the end there. It is a Ferrari 1-2 at the end of this race. A great start to the season for them. Ventrox crosses the line in fourth ahead of Addy Weepo in fifth. But Ventrox also loses a position. So, Ventrox in fifth and Addy Weepo in fourth. So, what unexpected turn of events there. Here is Addy in the McLaren, who unfortunately, for his team and for him and for his teammate as well, an unlucky race for the defending champions, McLaren, as Addy crosses the line for 6th position. Not a good race for him. As for the first time ever, it is combined for Ferrari, who wins the Australian Grand Prix. Lucky Racer in second to make it a Ferrari 1-2. Kryptox got a 6-second time penalty, so he's got third place. And he loses position. Addy Weepo in fourth, and Ventrox in fifth, Addy in sixth, and Thaboom in seventh. 3 laps down, and Wattmaster is the only DNF. He crashed on lap 5. That was a good race in the Australian Grand Prix. A good start to the 2016 BRL. Next race is in Bahrain, in Sakhir. So, hope to see you guys then, and hope you enjoyed.